Don't forget, you can reach the latest episode of Potomac Watch anytime. Just ask your smart speaker, play the Opinion Potomac Watch podcast. That is, play the Opinion Potomac Watch podcast.
From the opinion pages of the Wall Street Journal, this is Potomac Watch.
Welcome back. I'm Paul Gigot with Potomac Watch podcast of the Wall Street Journal here. We're here every day, and I'm here today with Kim Strassel and Bill McGurn. Bill, you wrote a column urging Donald Trump to debate Kamala Harris. He had said that he was not going to want to do the debate he had set with Joe Biden on ABC for, I think, September 10th or something like that. And instead, he wanted to do one a little earlier with Fox. And yet Trump now, I think, is moving a little bit more towards thinking, well, I got to do a debate wherever I can get one here. Let's listen to him on Fox and Friends.
I don't know how she debates. I heard she's sort of a nasty person, but not a good debater. But we'll see, because we'll be debating her, I guess, in the pretty near future. It's going to be announced fairly soon, but we'll be debating her. I'd like to see it on Fox, by the way. I would like to see it. My preference would be Fox, but we have to debate.
Bill, is Trump in a position where pretty much he's got to do it, even if it's on MSNBC?
Yeah, I think so. I think the Fox thing was kind of just a ploy. Kamala Harris was taunting him, saying he's afraid of debate when he canceled out of the ABC thing. And then he brought up Fox, and then she said, I'm not going on Fox, so he could say she's afraid of debate. The thing is, there are two reasons for debate. As you pointed out, Paul, at the beginning of the show, I think you owe it to the American people to debate your rival. Let people see for themselves, unscripted, what you do under pressure. It's not a given that the person that wins a debate wins the presidency, but it's a big factor in people. I think for Donald Trump, for all the reasons we talked about in the beginning, so far the unfocused nature of his attacks on Harris and the media's apparent willingness to let her hide from questions and so forth, the debate may be the only place where he gets a chance to break through that media wall of coronation and put her on the spot. I think it's fair to say she hasn't done well. As Kim says, I think Trump is capable of being disciplined. He was in the last debate. People thought all the rules that he agreed to were going to hurt him. I think they actually helped him. I think he does better actually in hostile environments. And Kamala Harris has to be very self-conscious in those debates about giggling at inappropriate moments and so forth. I don't think she's showed herself to be a Bill Buckley or something, even a John Kerry on the debate stage.
Well, she has not been a great debater, although she did have that one good debate in 2019, that first debate where she hit Biden for his anti-busing stance and suggested that he was a racist. But the next debate, she flopped because she couldn't even defend her own Medicare plan, and Tulsi Gabbard really chopped her up. But Kim, this is a question for you, is something I've wondered. Do you think Donald Trump has a harder time running against a woman than he does against a man?
I think he could, and I think he's already fallen into some of those traps. You'd like to think that a politician is a politician, everybody gets treated the same level, but there are different things when you're running against a candidate of another gender. And, his decision to go after her racial identity, to call her low IQ and dumb, for a lot of people out there, that's simply insulting. By the way, not insulting just because she's a woman, but just it's an insulting way to treat another candidate. And I think that that's also a risk for him in the debate as well, too. Now, he did handle himself perfectly well in his debate against Hillary Clinton. He has defeated a prior female candidate before. Sometimes I think people just factor this in when they look at Trump. This is what he does. So I think there's a certain type of voter out there that it rolls off them. But if he's on a national stage, the question of whether or not he owes it to the country is one that I agree with Bill on. They should debate. The question as to whether or not there aren't some real risks for him of standing on that stage and losing control and making a mistake against her, a mistake of style rather than substance, I think is a very real one.
If I were Trump, Bill, I'd go for two debates, not just one. What do you think?
Yeah, I agree. I think, again, given the media blackout and the determination to not hold vice president to any of her positions, I think the more the better. It all hinges on, will Donald Trump stay focused, do what he did in the Biden debate? Biden basically defeated himself. And he should put the questions that the press is not answering to Kamala Harris and put aside the personal insults. I think a lot of his base may like that and so forth. But to remember that he's appealing to the independent and swing voters, the people that haven't quite made up their mind, and just stick to the facts and the evidence. And there's more than enough out there to have a very good target-rich environment.
So right now, Kim, and this is going to wrap it up here, I think my view is that Harris clearly has the momentum. Trump can still win because the country does want change, but he has to define Harris as part of the Biden-Harris agenda that's unpopular and as too progressive, too liberal to trust, and too risky on foreign policy. But right now, he hasn't done that. She is grabbing the change in the future mantle. And right now, I think he's on a path to lose.
Look, I don't want to overstate this. I think that she has closed the polls. I think in some ways, this Marquette poll was a bit of an outlier, but I think in some ways you can look at this and it's a little bit still, at least at the moment, a reset of where this campaign was prior to Joe Biden and that debate collapse, which was sort of a tie. But the momentum is on her side. And that's where the risk is for him, is that if she continues to suck up all the headlines and improve herself in the polling, this then may become a race that he can and will lose. One thing I would note, the campaign itself is generally doing its job. Its press releases are on the topics. Its ads are good. Its surrogates and spokesmen are making all the right points. It really is the very top of the ticket. And someone needs to get through to Trump, too, because the stakes here are not just the presidential campaign. One other thing to add is that he is potentially risking down ballot as well, too, those Senate and House races, by dragging them down. So this is a kind of moment for the entire Republican Party.
All right, Kim, thank you. Thank you, Bill. Thank you all for listening. We're here every day on Potomac Watch, and we look forward to having you with us tomorrow and every day. Thanks for listening.